Okay, so here we have step 7 of the Sell on Social platform. And the step 7 is where you create your social media content. Now, when you're creating your social media content, it is more beneficial for you to have completed step 1, which is I'm pressing the wrong button here. Step 1, which is your core messages and positioning. So if you've completed step 1, you'll have your strategic brand blueprint. And when you're creating content in step 7, it is going to be making sure it takes into consideration all the information about you in step 1. That's what makes this system so powerful. It's really what makes it different from using the likes of ChatGPT, is that it understands truly who you are and how you're different, and it never forgets it. And it also is going to consult who your ideal customer is in step 2, and the system is going to bear that in mind and take that into consideration when it is creating content for you in step 7. If you step 3 done as well, it will also help you. That's also defining your core offer. So when we go to create content in step 7, we can create it if we haven't completed those steps, but it's better and more beneficial for us when we use the platform if we have created those steps. So the 3 types of content pillars that you can create under step 7 are the story-driven insight posts, where you'll find here, the advice posts you'll find here, and the testimonial posts you'll find here. So the story-driven insight posts are those magical posts which get you amazing reach on social media. They are performing really well at the moment. When you set up an account on this platform, we would have brought you through an onboarding journey to get you started, and you would have created a nice origin story. Those posts tend to perform extremely well on social media. Why? Because people love stories and people love connecting with people emotionally. And when you connect with people emotionally and you tell a real story and give the details of the real story, it tends to draw them in. It just works really well. So your story-driven insight posts are here. They're important for getting people to connect with you and to know you and to like you. And believe it or not, those story posts will generate more business for you than the advice or the testimonials. So even though in the advice posts you're positioning yourself as an expert, in the testimonial posts you're proving the results that you have gotten for other people, but the story posts, people go, I really like her. She gets me. She's been through the same things as me, or he's been through the same things as me. So they totally get me. So those story-driven insight posts is not unusual for people to get calls, DMs, more business on the back of those alone. Okay, they're very important. So I'll just describe what they are first. The second one is the advice. So the advice posts are where you're positioning yourself as an expert. Now, the advice posts never perform as well as the story posts, but they're still really important because the advice posts position you as an expert and prove the expertise and the knowledge that you have. And when somebody is thinking about doing business with you, even if they know you, even if they've met you before, and even if they don't know you, one of the things that they will do is they will go down through your social media channels, whether that's Instagram or whether it's LinkedIn, and they will look down through your previous posts. And so the advice post might not have performed or lit up the world when you posted it or published it, but it is there for your ideal customer to check out, and it will move people closer to starting a conversation with you, which is really important. So that's the advice posts. And then the testimonial posts are your social proof. It's what other people have said about you, which backs up what you say about yourself. Hugely important. So what I want to do in this very short tutorial is to just help you to create content as fast as possible. So what we want is really high, impactful, standout, unique content, but I want to help you do it in a way that saves you a huge amount of time, but still gets you that impact. We're going to be using AI, but it will not give you AI slop because of the way that you're going to create the content. So if you wanted to start with the story-driven insight posts, what you can do is you can find a story. So you can think of a moment and type it in. So some people like to think and type. Wonderful. You can use that. So you can think of like an origin moment. How old were you? Who else was there? What did you see? What did you smell? What did you hear? What did you take from that moment that still shows up in your work? So the story-driven insight post, when we say find a story, it's an origin moment or it's a hard lesson or it's a turning point. So yes, you're typing in for these, but they are really good because if you're not good at remembering the stories, because I know a lot of my clients now would be in the habit of it, but if you find it really hard, just to even go through these little text boxes, and they will remind you of the smells or what were you wearing. So we got one of our clients to do this, and she described a moment where she met her first client, and she described what she was wearing, and she described she was cycling home from her consultation on her bike, and she described what it felt like. And that post was so powerful. So those little help me find a story, they're very popular, and you can type them in, or even if you want to think about this and record a voice note or record an audio, you can copy and paste that, the transcript of that in here. The other thing you can do, which I really like, is you can upload a file or you can paste to a URL. So paste to a URL. So let's say there is a blog article or a newspaper, an old newspaper article, or somewhere where you were interviewed where you told loads of stories. So I tend to tell lots of stories when I'm interviewed. So maybe it's the transcript of a podcast article that's maybe associated with the podcast. Maybe it's a blog article. Maybe it's something you wrote yourself. If it's already online, you can copy and paste it there and it will pick the stories out from it. But what I want to show you here today in this example is I'm just going to upload a file from one of my coaching calls. So in my coaching call, I'm just going to upload a file because again, whenever I'm coaching, I am telling stories all the time. So I'm a great storyteller. So when I upload that document, now it's a fairly long document, so the AI is now going through it and it's gone through it and it's finding all the different stories, the forgotten passport. The overcritical video content, the stuck in the weeds business owner, the no fix dilemma. So if we said we're just going to go with let's say, or the stuck in the weeds business owner. So I say use this story, and then it has selected the story. I can read through it if I want. I can decide if I want to tie it in with any special day. So today is the 19th of June. I can see if there's any day that I wanted to tie it in with. So it could be like, let me see if there's anything here. So sometimes there are relevant days, other times there is not. And if there's not, don't worry about it. And sometimes you go, oh, wow, I really want to do something for that day. And if there's not, there isn't in this case, so I'm just not going to bother. And then you can decide you wanted to write it in whatever suits your style. And then you can, the call to action. So I'm going to ask for a question in the comments. So that's a nice way to end a story because people aren't going to go and buy from you, but they will connect with you and they will comment with you. So that's a good call to action. And so then we have selected the story that has come from the transcript, and then the platform will actually go ahead and do the writing for you. So what it's currently doing at the moment is now consulting your core messages and positioning in step 1. It is now considering who the buyer persona is in step 2. So it's taking the story from the transcript and it is comparing them with step 1 and step 2. And then it is writing the content for you. And then you get this content, which is written in a format which is going to perform really well on social media. So a client of mine was looking at empty units. And again, if you didn't like empty units, you could say a client of mine was something like, was upset as she had no idea where her next new client was coming from. Okay, that's not great, but I'm just showing you the example. So she was using a glamping business. She knew it needed attention. So if you can say, yeah, you could read down through it and decide if you like that story or not. I'm not even going to go through it because it's just an example. And then if you decided, actually, if you can change the business example, please, and then you can regenerate with changes. Or if you say, if it maybe sometimes it might mention somebody's name, remove all names. If you wanted to, you mightn't want to. And then if you can just refine this post, or you can edit it yourself. Like sometimes this is easy to edit it yourself. And then you can regenerate with changes and it will take the suggestions that you have made. Don't worry about spelling. It doesn't matter if you spell things wrong. It doesn't matter if you have a typo. My nails are very long at the moment, so I cannot type, because once you have actually just given it direction, it will do the refining and it will change out that post for you. And so once you're happy with the post, you can save and continue. So once you've saved and continue, what it does is your session basket is there. So this is the posts that I've already saved, and it will just remember this down here, and I can still work through the rest of these that I haven't used, and I can just continue working away. The good thing about this is you can go through and You can create multiple posts that are high quality, impactful posts, and you can do that really quickly. And then you just have your session basket, which are all the posts that you've saved. And then if you think, obviously, if I was working through this, I would go down through all of these and I would create the posts for it. But this is just a training example today, so I'm just going to skip over here. And I want to show you that you can now create the advice posts. Now, if I wanted to, I could upload that exact same file that I just uploaded in the story section. I could upload that file, but this time it would not look for stories. It would look for advice. And again, it goes through and it will pick up, look at this, uncovering your unique value proposition. So if you've already created content and you've got nice PowerPoint slides, so I'm just going to select this, use this angle. Do I want to tie it in with a special day? I didn't see any special days I wanted to use, but I could, if I wanted to, go into July and see if there is anything there. National Workaholics Day. Just going to do it for the crack now. And is that selecting it? And then so it's already tied it in here. And I still want to use write in Irish, Hibernian English. And then the call to action can be to DM me, or I'm just going to ask for comments, engagements again. And then I generate the post. So what it's going to do now is going to consult back into step 1, the core messages, step 2, the buyer persona, step 3, the piece of advice that is now extracted from the training presentation. It's going to tie it in with that special day, even though I don't know if it's really that relevant. So we'll see what the AI does with it. And then it is going to also write it in Hibernian English. It's going to ask for comments. So here we have the post. So stop just listing what you do. Start telling people why you're the one and who does it the way you do. So again, it will create that post. It will create an engaging post with a really strong hook. It will write the post for you, and then it's going to make it easy for you to either just edit it. So I always say with these posts, sometimes they're 100% there and you'll go, happy days, copy and paste, done. Sometimes it might be 80% there, but 80% to 100% you're going to get there a lot faster. Again, if you want to refine it or if you want to edit it directly, you can. I'm not going to do that today because I just want to show you in this session. So I can just save and continue. So it did, today is National Workaholics Day, so you were probably busy. So that's good, it did it well. So I'm going to press save and continue. And then you can see that angle has been used. And if I wanted to go, I can then create another one here, but for this tutorial, I'm not going to. Again, I would be encouraging you, create the content in bulk. Go through and get the content created in bulk. And then the testimonial posts. So you can just, if you wanted to, you can go to your LinkedIn profile. So I'm going to go to my LinkedIn profile. You can go to anywhere where people can pick up testimonials. Just to show you today, because I know everybody is going to have recommendations in the bottom of their LinkedIn profile. Now, it won't read the LinkedIn profile because LinkedIn doesn't allow people or platforms to crawl it, but I can just simply do this. I can just simply copy and paste as many as I want and create these in bulk. And I'm going to show you what you can do with these, how you can use them and reuse them. So I just say, find testimonials. And it is going to pick out obviously there's multiple recommendations there, and it's going to just go through them all, and so it's got all of these here. So this is the post, and I'm going to say generate testimonial post. So it's taking the post word for word, but now what it's going to do is going to use that post to create a post for social media. And again, it's going to consult with step 1 and step 2, and then it's going to generate this post for me. So while we were waiting for it to do this, you can see here the session basket. So these are the posts that I've already saved on this session. And what I'm going to show you now in a minute is how you can plan these posts. Now, if you just wanted to download them now and schedule them today, or schedule them in the Meta Business Suite, or schedule them in LinkedIn, you can just download them straight away. But I want to show you another feature of the platform which I think is very useful. So I honestly don't know what I do without them. So these are the words of my wonderful client after working with my team for over a year. What it's done is taken the testimonial and it's just turned it into a post. So I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm going to save and pick another. So again, I can just pick another one here, get it to generate. And now you can see in my session basket, I have the 3 posts. One is a testimonial, one is advice, and then one is a story. And we just have that other testimonial post just being generated as we speak. So as I said, the whole goal of this is that we sit down in an hour, we might have created 8, 9, 12 posts. And If you decided, okay, I'm going to create 2 posts a week, you can create content for weeks at a time. And then you can still have the opportunity that if you're out and about at an event and you're sharing images of meeting people, that they can be your filler posts, but these are your quality, impactful posts, which is going to get you attention. That looks fine. I am now going to just save and pick another. So now I have my 4 posts from this session. So here's an idea for you. If you wanted to do 2 posts a week, you could do an advice post and a testimonial one week, or a story and a testimonial every other week. So it's a really good formula and it works really well. So then if I want to plan these posts, I just press plan these posts. And then it brings me into all the posts that I have saved, but I haven't planned. And I've been creating lots of posts here for myself, but I haven't figured out when I'm going to publish them. So this is not a scheduling tool. So the whole idea of this tool is that it helps you create the content. It's better quality, more impactful content. And then you can decide when you're going to publish them. And then you can export that document and either schedule them yourself in LinkedIn if that's what you're doing, or if you're using any tools like SmarterQueue, or if you're using Go High Level, or if you're using HubSpot or any of those tools, you can import what we're about to export from here into those tools, and it works seamlessly. So if I take the first post, the testimonial post from Connie, this is what we do. So we're going to plan in calendar. So I can decide when I want to post this. So I can say I'm going to post this next Monday. Now, the whole thing with these posts are the testimonial posts, the advice posts, the stories. We should be reusing content a few times a year. So that post is going out, let's say it's going out in June. There's nothing to say that we couldn't post that again in September, October. Even if the same people see the post, they won't even remember. So you can reuse that post and you can decide when you want to read the post. Or you can even remind yourself on the 1st of September to review it. And you might tweak it. You might copy and paste it word for word. It will work. And then if you want to, this will help you organize your content. So if you said that you wanted content that you use around launches, or content that you use for your evergreen lead magnet, or content that you just use for general awareness. So I'm just going to use this for general awareness. And then I press done, and then I press save. And then that is going to put it in the calendar and give me the reuse again, and I can reuse it again at another date. So if I want to decide that next January again on the 6th I wanted to do it, it can, and I can save it. Okay, and that's once it's saved, then it disappears from the not planned yet list and it goes into the planned list. So this is the next one. So again, I'm going to plan in calendar. I can choose a date. I decide when I want to reuse it. I'm just going to fly through this because it's just training. I can decide if I want to use it again in another time. I can decide if I wanted to have it, that's my awareness. But if I decided I was going to use this for launch, Launch, I can select another category there. So don't create too many subcategories because it'll be harder for you to manage. But this is up to you how you run it. And then you press save. And so you can keep doing that for all the posts. I've just wanted to show you 2 examples. So I wanted to show you then that once they're planned, when you click over here to this toggle here to planned in calendar, so you can see the lists of posts that are planned, or you can see it in list view, or you can see it in calendar view. So you can see where you have your content planned and when you want to fill up your calendar. So that's really useful. When you're looking at it in list view, you can look at it and you can say, what have I already got in for September? Or what do I already have in for January? Or what do I have in for June? So it's a handy filter to have. And then once you are ready to export it, you just can export that as a CSV. And then when you have a CSV file, then you can upload it into SmarterQueue, Go High Level, HubSpot, any of those scheduling tools that you'll be able to work with. And it will just help you create that, sit down, put a little time and effort in and create that content in bulk. And then you'll be able to reuse that content or revisit the content, edit it and reuse it again. So that is just a little tutorial on how to use the social media content creator to create bulk content as fast as possible using AI, but really using your stories, your advice, your testimonials, and I guarantee you 100% it'll help you stand out.